If you are an artist, a musician, a writer, a video maker, a creator of any kind, you need to make more stupid art. I'm serious. Now, if you're like me from the past, you might ask yourself, why on earth would I waste my time creating anything that doesn't represent my skills as a serious artist? Why would I ever choose to make stupid art? And the question seems reasonable at first. If I want to prove myself, if I want to find an audience that appreciates the genuine skill and passion that goes into my work, then every piece of creative work I share needs to be a reflection of that, right? Well, in this video, I'm gonna share 4 huge takeaways that completely changed my outlook on creative work after I had this perspective shift. Because for all of my life, I had never imagined that there could possibly be any value in intentionally creating stupid art until I started doing it. To clarify, when I say stupid videos, I don't mean a lack of respect for the craft, almost the opposite. I'm talking about the stuff where you can tell that the artist is deeply immersed in their medium, be it drawing, painting, dance, music, anything. But you look at the final product and it's the most unserious thing you've ever seen in your life. There's a certain delight in seeing an artist who's good enough to do anything they want in their field, and yet they choose to bless their audience with the silliest shit you can imagine. It's magical. Now, maybe it should have been more obvious in hindsight that a lot of my favorite artists had already learned this lesson, but for me, it took a little longer to get there. For context, I've been posting more highly produced music videos and cover songs on this YouTube channel for about 12 years, and creatively that's basically all I did for a decade until 2021 when I started posting on TikTok and trying new things besides cover songs, including this.
Where are you taking me?
I'm about to change your life.
Then by all means, lead the way.
Number one victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down.
This was my first really viral TikTok, and if you've ever tried to market yourself on social media, I'm sure you know, when you have a viral video, you gotta double down, you gotta lean into it. The problem was, this was a one-off joke, a mashup of a Hamilton song and a Fortnite parody. It was one of the least serious things I had ever made. I wanted to take advantage of this surprise viral success, but that would mean doing something that was at odds with my whole online creative identity. Commit to making more stupid videos. Now, my personal identity crisis at the thought of making more stupid videos might sound overdramatic, but at the time it felt like a really big deal. I've always been a perfectionist with my work, I've always held myself to a really high standard, and I felt like the space that I fit squarely into on the internet was this singing, performing, full-length music video space. When I made a music video, I'd spend anywhere from 2 weeks to multiple months perfecting every step of the process. That means arranging, recording, mixing and mastering, conceiving a visual look to match the song, setting up the shoot, filming, editing, posting on YouTube, and releasing the song on online stores and streaming services. So I had years of experience treating every project like it was the most important thing I had worked on yet. But after I started really committing a chunk of my creative time to intentionally making quick, low-stakes, stupid videos, I started to realize just how much my self-imposed seriousness was holding me back. Like, don't get me wrong, I've made quick, low-stakes art before. Some of my most treasured memories from college are the writing games that I would play with friends, where the whole point was to just have fun, make each other laugh, and loosen up with our writing. One of my favorite collaborations I've ever done on YouTube was when Finn MK asked me to be a part of his fantastic, zany mini-musical, The Well, an incredibly skillfully crafted and very stupid video. But I had gotten in my head that all the fun stuff and the silly stuff was like a detour, like it didn't count as real art, like it was a guilty pleasure. It felt like if it came to me quickly and easily, or if it was just to make my friends laugh, that it wasn't real art. And I'm here right now to tell you and me from the past, with all the compassion in my heart, but that's ridiculous. There are so many pieces of art that I love, that really affect me deeply, that the artist bared their soul in order to create, but there are also a lot of pieces of art that I love that are dumb as hell. In the end, the thing that got me to realize just how valuable stupid art was for me as an artist was just to make a lot of it. Now, after I've made over 200 audio mashups, edits, videos, or arrangements in the last couple of years, here are the 4 large-scale artistic outcomes that I never would have reached otherwise. Number 1, you'll start to take yourself less seriously. I'm gonna be honest, I've always hated the advice, don't take yourself so seriously. It would always just put me into defense mode. I would get that advice a lot, but to me it felt like the person who was saying it was just wrong. They just didn't understand. Like, they could have low standards for themselves, but I can't have low standards for myself. Like, if I'm not taking myself seriously, then my work's not gonna get taken seriously, and then I'm wasting my time. However, making a bunch of intentionally non-serious work helped me recontextualize what it meant to take myself less seriously overall. I still have high standards for my serious work, but the more I built that habit of creating things without my really high standards, the more I started to naturally find the parts of that serious work that didn't have to be perfect in order for the whole thing to still meet my standard. Number 2, you can finish and share more things with the world. When I was only focused on making serious high-quality music videos, my best case scenario was releasing 2 videos in a month, and more often it was 1 video every month or 2. And as soon as I finished a big video, I would immediately feel this pressure to finish the next one as soon as possible so that I wouldn't be making my audience wait for months for my follow-up. If you just sprinkle in some quick stupid art between your big projects, your audience will get to see more content from you, they'll get to see a new side of your personality as an artist, and the pressure for every post to be a banger is gone. In the past, I would think to myself, okay, that last video took about 3 months to complete, so to balance it out, I'll make sure that this next one only takes a couple of weeks. But I'm telling you, make something that only takes 2 hours. Maybe it's a quick doodle that made you laugh. Maybe it's performing a song in a silly voice. Maybe for me, it was auto-tuning the little lad who loves berries and cream to sing any song I could think of.
I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
Those fun, quick, silly little things that you put out into the world can really help take the pressure off of your bigger projects, and they'll help you just generally create more stuff. Which brings me right to my third outcome. Putting out a higher quantity of work makes you grow faster. This is also something that I had heard a lot of artists say, but I was never able to really put into practice until I started making all of my edits and mashups on TikTok. The way it feels like it should work is no matter what you're doing, as long as you're immersed in the creative process, you should always be steadily growing and improving. Unfortunately, real life is not that straightforward. There are a lot of ways to unintentionally stagnate, but the best tried and true method to get past that stagnation is just to finish your piece and move on to the next one. You get the experience of practicing every step of the process when you actually complete every step of the process, including the final steps. And once you've got that experience and you've built those habits, it reflects on all your work going forward. For me, even though the low stakes videos I was making aren't exactly the same format as my more high effort videos, I can tell you that I improved way less in the year that I made 18 serious music videos than in the year that I made 10 serious videos and 100 stupid mashups. And finally, if you're doing it right, you'll have more fun. I try to have fun with every project, and a lot of my music videos and personal projects have been really fun. But honestly, life is short, and the more chances you have to inject fun into your life, the better off you'll be. Finding a way to make your creative process more fun, or to create more pieces that are purely fun, is incredibly important for your longevity as an artist. And more than anything, I think that's the thing I want you to take away from this video. Whether or not your stupid art reaches a large audience, the most important thing is that you are feeling stronger and more confident in yourself as an artist. It can be easy to get sucked into a cycle of making non-stop content for the algorithms and never stopping until you burn out, and then dreading the creative thing that used to bring you joy. A big part of this journey for me has been finding the right ways to keep myself from getting to that point. For me, making stupid art keeps the joy of creating alive. And my old fear that it would be a waste of my time turned out to be the opposite of the truth. It has been one of the most valuable ways I could spend my time. If you feel like you would be too self-conscious to share your dumb pieces on the internet, you don't have to share anything, but I would encourage you to. For me, a huge part of my change was consistently and habitually finishing my smaller pieces, and there's no better way to accept that it's finished than to post it. Plus, I found it really gratifying to be able to see other people's stupid art. In a certain way, it feels like it has given me permission to make and share more stupid stuff with everyone else. Right here, you can watch a playlist of a whole bunch of the stupid stuff that I've made recently, and if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, tell me in the comments about some of the stupid art that you've made.